Okay, so you have to click the word "got it" on that box. Box should clear your screen. Make sure you now have two chairs, backs of the chairs facing in, decent amount of space there, and then a chair back behind that that you can sit on. Scoot to the front edge of that chair. Buttock bones planted down through the chair. And chin slightly down, crown slightly up. Got your vertical pillar, your central pillar. This is your minimum homework that should be done a couple times a day for 1 minute, 5 minutes, whatever, where you just come to a pause. Sitting in a chair is good because it's a halfway point between standing meditation and getting down on the ground and having to do like a crossed legged sitting position, which it can be very demanding and painful on the knees and back if we're not loose. But this allows us to find that central pillar, but also to practice relaxation. The term Chun One that we've been talking about in this class, of softening and relaxing as your mode of finding stability. So that is usually a novel concept, because usually we're looking for stability by grabbing and holding, right? It's kind of a intuitive response to things, is to grab on, sort of a defensive, cautious response. But from the Taoist, Tai Chi, Qigong, Chinese medicine perspective, that makes us more brittle, more hard, more top heavy, and it uproots us from the ground, from this feeling of being grounded and rooted. So we have to practice loosening up that excess grip and letting there be a sort of descent, a softening and sinking, and finding there is a stability to that, a sort of heaviness dropping out of the body and plugging us into the earth. That's Chun One.
Whoa.
And the concept of Qing Ling is what is left in the body after you release the tension is light, nimble, agile, easier to move, just less impediment, less restriction, less constriction. So just sitting, finding Zhongjung or central pillar, Chun One, softening and releasing what is excess, and feeling that stability that's in the body that comes from being light and nimble and relaxed. Final few moments here, let's just add conscious breathing in through the nose. Light holding of the breath out the nose or the mouth. Mouth breathing is very helpful. Mouth exhaling, very helpful for cleansing, sort of a release of exhaust, of staleness, of whatever we're clinging to inside at a chi level, nervous system level, emotional level. Releasing out of the system. In the nose is helpful because it humidifies and filters the air. It also uses our respiratory chassis more thoroughly to pull all the way through the sinus space and down into our lungs, rather than just going straight into the mouth. So inhaling through the nose, very important. Exhaling can be out nose or mouth for a different effect. Let's just take 5, 6 more of these breaths as you feel Zhongjung, Chun One, and Qing Ling. And our first set of movements. Hands slide back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, look up. And hands slide forward past the knees, hollow the chest, drop the head. Hands slide back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, look up. And slide forward, hollow. And again, draw back, arch, and forward. Two more. So ideally, you're only using that chingling, light and nimbleness to move the body, rather than clenching back up and then forcing the body to move. Instead, you're kind of oozing, sliding, gliding this body through movement. And then settle to the middle and rotation. Left hand forward, right hand and elbow back, turn to the right. And then turn to your left. Slight, easy movement. Softer the better. That combination of soft, yet it has that zhong or that through line, that integral, that integrity of structure. But the integrity of the structure is more sort of a concept of upright rather than a physical upright. You know what I mean? Rather than a firm, stuck upright, it's more like there is a uprightness and through line through the entire body. And that's present when we relax. We just have to release that out of the body. Let's hang the arms. Just soft, lean to your right. Left wrist floats up. Let the head droop. You can even lift this empty foot. And then switch. Same idea. We're just trying to be as soft and relaxed as possible. Laterally falling through space, yet not losing our middle. Last one. And back to middle. Shoulders. Now the shoulder blades on our back can spread apart on the back, which moves the arms forward and shoulders forward. Then we lift the shoulder blades up. Then we draw those shoulder blades back towards each other and slide down and under, forward, up over top and back, and down, under, forward and up, back, down, under, forward and up, back, under. Two more. And reverse. Back, up, over, down in front. Back, over top, down in front. Again. One more. And middle. Now, bend the elbows. Bring the elbows out and up. And then down. Towards each other, squeeze. Down. Out and up. Then bring them back down. Around in front, squeezed. Bring them down. One more. Now, elbows back, right? Back, down, forward, up. Forward, down, back, down, forward, up, back, up, and then elbows down, flare them out to the side, one above, one below, cross and wrap, open, switch, open and switch. And elbows down. Swing, loose, let them come to stillness, and then one forward, one back. And scoot a little bit back in your chair so you're very stable. Right knee lift, heel draws in, push, draw up and in, set the foot down, switch. Down, switch. Do that a couple more times, switching each time. Now, right foot out, point foot, flex foot. Then invert, evert, tilt in, tilt out, in, out. Circle. And reverse, circle. And down. Point and flex. Invert, evert. Circle. Reverse. And down. Scoot all the way forward on your chair. Now to get the hip area, step the feet a little wider than hip distance. Lift your toes. Turn the toes and knees in. Notice how the thighs roll in. Then lift the toes, open the knees and toes out. Thighs roll out. Quad or groin area opens. Toes in. Toes out. And remember, the knees follow the toes. The knees following the toes open and close the quad or groin area, hip area. And then back to neutral legs, bring them back about hip distance. And forward fold, hip hinge. And sit upright. And then lean a little bit back from the hips. So the whole point of this one is just to find easy, thorough movement where the legs and pelvis meet. That's kind of the power zone of the body, and it's one of the common places where people have it stuck, the low back, the hips, groin, legs. It's kind of a frozen area, and then it limits all kinds of function in the body and all kinds of flow, right? So now we're vertical. We're going to stand up, so the arms are loose, right? Now notice something here. Do this little foot tap. Notice that your legs, even though you're kind of using them to keep the structure here, they're not really heavily taking body weight. But now as we fold, we're sort of pouring, like you pour a cup of water, pour your body weight out of the chair, down to the earth, through the legs, and now you come up and they're not light anymore. You can't do that little foot tap. as easily. You could force it, but the point is here, now we're plugged into the earth through the feet. Now you hip hinge and you sink. You're still plugged in through the feet, even when your butt touches the chair, but then you change that. So feel how your body weight pours down through the chair and your feet are empty again. And then we stand up by pouring the weight down to the earth. So it's the down that makes this up easy and possible. And that is something we apply when we're walking, when we're doing really everything. But it's not something we think about until we understand it correctly. We think, oh, I got to get to that chair. We sort of fall into it, bang into the chair. But here we're going, oh, yeah, just this soft, relaxed body. And I'm changing what I'm plugging into the ground through. And then this same movement is how we pick something off the ground. So don't sit in your chair, fold, sit like you're gonna sit in your chair. Notice your hands dangle down near the ground. You could grab something and then push through the earth and bring that something up with you without a whole bunch of effort, right? So imagine now you've got something and you need to set it on the ground. Same idea, you're holding it in close to yourself and you fold and sit, and then you could extend and place that thing on the ground and rise back up, right? So we're talking about like working in the garden, for instance, right? This is something you might do constantly in the garden. Oh, I got to get down and get that thing. And if we're frozen and stuck, people often kind of go like this and try to get down from up here and oh, my back hurts and all that. Versus when we're loose and we sink, we can do all kinds of things here and come right back up. So opening up pathways, unlocking frozen mechanisms is really sort of at the heart of what we're doing in Tai Chi and Qigong. So now we're standing. Come to your chair that's on the right side. The right side. Use it for safety and balance. And we ideally do a couple where you're not touching anything. So it's there if you need it, but you just get this feeling of connecting down through to the earth through only the balls of your feet and toes. So now the heels are empty. And then you rock back and you've got both heels and toes. And then you even rock back a little bit more. So it's just the heels touching the ground. And then the heels and toes. And then just the toes. And if you do this right, there should be no feeling of losing balance. So that the whole body can lean. You see how much of an angle I'm making? I'm really angling in a forward line. And then when I go back, I don't make the same back line. I make sort of a C curve in the body. But the idea here is that you're so relaxed. You've got Chun One so in place that you're just connected to the ground, and all that's left up here is this light, nimble body. So this is one concept of how we can start to feel safer while we're standing up and moving about our lives, is that we're not stiffly holding on for dear life, but we're relaxed and connected down to the earth. Now use that same principle as you turn and face forward again. Same principle, we're using two legs to connect us. Now just softly let your body weight melt down just one leg and test this other leg by doing a little swivel. So if it's empty, it should be able to move a little more freely. And then we change. From this middle pivot, we change. Let that other leg take the body weight. And feel this little swivel, this movement from the hip that shows up down in the foot. And then change. And so learning how to accomplish this changing of weight, which is a really potent event in terms of if I'm going to step up on a stair, I'm going to take a step to go over there. It's about emptying one leg so that it's free to move without force. And so the more loosely relaxed we can be, shoulders loose, and we just mosey in this very, chill, relaxed way from this leg to this leg. The common mistake is as you start going over to your left leg, your right leg, my left leg, people do something like this. I'm exaggerating it, but they push out into the hip and kind of lock into the hip joint, and or they lock the knee back. They press back and then grip all the muscles around the leg. So that's why when we stand on a stiff, brittle leg, we don't feel that balanced. So this Tai Chi practice of let your weight go through. So there's this little, you see this buoyant sort of springy quality through the leg. It's just a slight change, but it makes a huge difference when you can let the leg take the weight. And now the other leg starts to feel very light and empty. So let's go to the next exercise. Lift to the tippy toe of your empty foot and then place the foot back down and change the weight down through this left leg. And now your right leg is empty. You get to the tippy toe. You see how empty my foot is? I can take it all the way to the tip of the shoe. And so its emptiness is determined by the fullness or commitment to the other leg. So usually we think about the moving leg as the one we need to pay attention to and do something with. But there's this preliminary prerequisite step of, oh yeah, let the body weight go through one leg, let the body weight go through the other leg. Now, you've got your chair. Hopefully, I forgot to say, move closer to your right side chair. Now you can use it for balance. Get to the tippy toe of an empty foot and disconnect the foot from the ground. That's another level to the practice. Place the foot down with no body weight and then change the weight. Get to the tippy toe. Disconnect. Reconnect. Change. Disconnect, reconnect, change. So the softer, more relaxed we get, the more sort of technically skilled we get at releasing to the earth. This is where Tai Chi moving slow becomes swift, is because the weight goes down through and almost immediately you're able to do the lift up, right? If I place this foot down, now I can almost simultaneously change the weight and lift. So now it's happening as if instantly, again, change, and then this becomes empty. Change, this becomes empty. Let's go level 3, use the chair for balance, but bring this knee up as high as you can. Lower the leg all the way to the earth with no body weight. Then as the weight goes down and through, lift. Now, please do use the chair so that you can get this all the way up. So this one is about range of motion. We're trying to actually break through to get to the end of the range of motion. So use the chair as much as needed to then give you this ability to keep the pelvis settled, the torso in that good alignment. This leg is taking all the weight and we get all the way up, all the way down. One more to each side. Now, the weight goes into your left leg, right foot is empty, put the heel out in front. Notice that I didn't take a humongous step, it's just right out in front. I'm not going way out here. Eventually, you can take very big steps and still obey all the Tai Chi rules, but first we have to sort of foundation principle. We have to get back to the foundational principle. So this foot is empty. Your right foot's my left, your right. Now change the weight into your right leg and get to the tippy toe, right? I'll turn sideways. You can see I'm at the tip of the shoe. This foot is empty. Then shift, get to the tip of the heel. Primary direction is Chun One, or down. Down through your right leg, get to the left tippy toes. Down through the left leg, get to the tip of the heel. Again. Down. 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 Level 2, use the chair with this front leg empty, lift, lower, shift. Once the back leg is empty, like a little flamingo, just bend the knee, place it down, shift. From the hip, lift, lower, shift. From the knee, down, shift. Chun 1, just softening down. And what's left in the body is light and nimble. So if you get the grounding portion correct, then the rest of the body has an opportunity to be light, floating, buoyant. Level 3, once you're in your back leg, lift, just like we did before, this full range, down, shift. Now the back leg, forward and up, back, shift, knee up. Now the premature lifting is what most people will do. Rush, and then you have to use force rather than this technique of like a scale. Putting weight on one side of a scale allows the other side to lift emptily. Because it's empty, it lifts up just with no effort, right? You don't have to grab it and pull that side up. So that's what we're playing with here, is that, oh, if I really commit here, this is empty. And then if I really commit here, this is empty. And you can get so good at this that it happens, boom, instantaneously. But it does require daily practice over a period of time to like sort of reclaim, retrain these mechanisms in the body. So let's switch sides now. Bring your right foot next to your left, weight down through your right leg, side step, get closer to your other side chair. Now put the weight through your right leg, left foot in front, heel touching. Remember, it's just a short stance, not big. The smaller stance allows us to practice down, down. So the primary direction is down, and yet I just moved forward in space. Down, but I moved backwards in space. I didn't have to move myself forward and move myself back in any way. Just relax and just connect to the earth, connect to the earth. So it's very good news what Tai Chi is telling us. It's saying you don't have to work so hard. And for Parkinson's, that's why I think they're a match made in heaven, because so much of that effort is what gets the nervous system all sort of chaotic, all that dyskinesia, that grip, and that if you can learn to just say, oh yeah, I can just use the technique correctly and I'll be more functional by releasing, by being easy. Let's go level 2. So as your weight goes into your back leg, from this hip crease, lift, down, shift. Let the weight get to the earth, flamingo, down, shift from the hip, lift, lower, shift. From the knee, shift from the hip. Again, Zhongjung, your central pillar, undisturbed, just like it was when we were sitting in the chair. That's another interesting feeling that comes along for the ride, is that internally, this central pillar is sort of floating. And we're just using these springy legs to execute a movement through space. Let's go level 3. Use the chair for balance, lift, down, shift, and then bring that back leg forward and up, like you're gonna step up onto a stair that's very high, and then reach the toe behind you, shift from the hip, lift, lower, shift. The knee comes forward and up. Now you gotta stay in your front leg as you reach the toe back, right? You notice tendency to go get pulled back with the leg is there. You have to stay here and down and then shift. Last one, each side, each leg. And back. Now bring left foot next to right foot. Shift into this left leg, side step. Change. Bring the left foot in. We're closer to this side. Put that foot out in front. Level one, next exercise. Shift. You get to this tippy toe, step that foot, heel, right? Empty heel, and then shift. Get to this tippy toe. So weight goes down through your right leg, step the left foot while it's still empty, then it goes down through the left leg and your right foot is empty. Down through the right, step left, down through the left, empty right. Down through the right, step down. So it's the emptiness that allows this step to be no problem. Now, level two, lift, lower, just like we did, shift, and now your back foot has to pick up, step over something, and come down. Shift, back leg, flamingo, bend the knee and bring the toe back down, and then shift back. Now this one can get a little tricky. We got to lift in front from that hip, bend the knee, and reach the toe back, all while staying through your front leg, and shift back. From the hip, lift, lower, shift. Once right leg is your full leg, then this can be easy. And then shift. Once the left leg's your full leg, flamingo. Shift. This leg has to come up in front, bend the knee, reach the toe back, shift. From the hip, lift, lower, shift. Step over, shift. Flamingo. Feel that floating Zhongjun, floating central pillar. Level three, same thing, floating central pillar, one full, other empty. Knee comes up, down, shift, and now this back leg, we go heel to butt, knee up, foot out, just to clear the range of motion, and then land that foot and shift. Then your back leg, bring the knee forward and up, reach the toe back, shift back. Now we go knee up, tuck, reach, all with no body weight, use chair as needed, and then shift. And then knee, down, down to the earth, heel, knee, foot, down, down to the earth. So retaining balance while the limbs are traveling through their full range of motion. Retaining a still point, still quality in the interior, in the deepest place along the middle, requires this soften. Let's switch sides. Bring your right foot next to left, side step, change. Chair is there. Weight goes down through your right leg, put left foot in front. Shift, step, backwards, sorry. Where was it? Here. Shift, step, shift. Shift back, step back, shift back. This is a really important exercise because, one, it's the foundation for basic walking, but it gives us this feeling of empty, full, full, empty, full, empty. So this change is what we need to get good at. Empty, full, step, empty, full. Empty, full, step, empty, full. We want to get that to be like falling off a log, like just sliding, just easy. Boom, boom. Soft, soft. And that looseness while we have our central sort of floating middle allows us to feel very safe as we cruise forward and backwards in space. Now let's go level two, just to add challenge. Lift, lower, shift. Step over something, a small obstacle, pick the foot up, step over, land, shift. Back leg, bend the knee, heel towards butt, toe down, shift back. Up, tuck, reach, shift back. From the hip, lift, lower, shift. Step over something, shift. Bend the knee, back, up, tuck, reach. From the hip, step over, bend the knee, back. Level 3, up, down, full. This being empty, we can go heel to butt, knee up, foot out, foot down, shift. And then bring that left knee forward and up, toe reach back, shift. And then up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, down, heel, knee, foot, down, all the while central pillar just hanging out, shift. Full empty, full empty. All right, and down, shogun, wing, roll, fold, settle. So one of the things that makes this Tai Chi and Qigong is this recognition that everything we're doing is engaging the Qi, the life force, the energy of the body. And so we're doing something, the Qi is coming out, called Weidong, where it's coming out, or Weidong, Wei Qi, Weidong, coming out from the middle and going into the various tissues and pathways. And then we're coming to this still point to say, Neidong, settle back into the middle. Everything calm down, battery recharge. And then we go to the next exercise. Now, chairs stay exactly as they are. I'm just adjusting mine. Now, move yourself to your left, right? So we're over here to the far left, and then turn and face back across. So you see a big old runway all the way across. Now, level 1, walking forwards and backwards. So empty your left foot, put it in front. Now shift into it. As the left leg becomes the 100% full, the right leg is the empty, step it. Try with no hands. And then shift, go into your right leg, left foot empty, step the empty foot, keeping it empty while you step it. And then shift. Step while it's empty, keep it empty. And again, that's not nothing. It's not, you have to assume you're not doing some of these things, because usually we fall into the leg, we sort of jump the foot. I'm exaggerating, but you want to be able to float it like a feather, land it, change the weight, float that foot like a feather, change. Now going backwards, we do the same thing. We got to be down through one leg, sturdy as a mountain, the other foot light as a cloud, steps back. And then we got to change. The cloud becomes a mountain, and the mountain just became a cloud. And then we change again, sturdy and empty. Full, empty. Full, empty. So the term in Tai Chi that you want to train yourself away from is double weighted, meaning both legs feel exactly the same, as in they're both firm and weighted, and then we're just walking down the street. Instead, we want to feel like, oh yeah, one is full, the other is totally light and empty, and then shift. Now this is full, this is light as a feather. And now that's full, and this one's light as a feather, and full and light, full and light, full and light. And if you focus on that underlying mechanism of change, of differentiation between full and empty, you will find your movement ability increase and increase and increase. but it's addition by subtraction, by releasing. Now, level 2, leg lift, lower, shift, step up and over something, land the foot, shift. The sturdy leg takes all the weight. The empty leg is free to float and come down, and then shift. Empty foot can step, shift. Empty foot step, shift. Reverse, shift. Now this front foot has to lift, tuck, reach back, shift. Wait for it to be empty so that this all happens light, and then shift. Wait for the change, sturdy, connected to the ground, and that will free you to take a step. Eventually, you're never not grounded. That's kind of the point. So let's do one more round of level 2, where I'm never coming out of my ground and hoping I'm going to reground. I'm actually just transferring under the earth which leg I'm connected to. Now I'm connected under the ground here, and then connected here, connected, and reverse. Same thing. I'm grounded. I step the foot. I'm shifting. I'm changing which one I'm grounded with. Changing, 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 and together. Now, turn and face forward. You're at the left side of your space. Change your weight to your left leg. Right foot out, in. We're going to do this a few times. One thing I'm pointing out, take your hands like this, right? And take these little pointers and touch the area. You've got your genital area here, the groin area, this crease right along the side. Place the fingers there. It's called the quad. So feel that space and think of it as a place that can be opened or closed, right? And we need it to be able to open and close. So now as you're touching that spot, changing the weight to your left leg, both quad are closed here. Now open your right quad and step the foot out, but it's still empty. Whereas if I go like this, and I let my weight go with it, it's still closed. So feel that differentiation of open, then bring it back in, close. Open, close. So this side is remaining closed. This side is opening, closing, opening, closing. One more. Open, leave it out there. Now, both feet stay on the ground. Close the right quad, open the left. Close the left, open the right. So now it's full empty. And then we close the right and open the left. Now this one is empty. And then close the left, open the right. Now this one is empty. Central pillar still intact as we open and close. So it's this interior real estate that when it's jammed, stuck, and closed, we limit our ability to move in space. And so that's what Tai Chi is. If you come to the Friday class, we're doing all kinds of interesting turning and shifting, but it exists in this space. And so now we're just applying it to walking, right? So now stay in your right leg, left quad's open, close left quad, open left quad, close, open, close, open. How's the teacup doing? How's your central pillar doing? Are you fully committed to one and not in the other? So that this freedom of movement, the speed, the swiftness can come because of the emptiness. Finally, bring the left foot in. Both quad are closed, and we can change to the left leg. So right foot is empty. Change to the right leg, left foot is empty. This one is so important to practice because since we don't have a huge amount of left and right shifting, we have to find the chun one, the down, and then the down. We also have to find the belly, lower back, and quad, groin mechanism. We have to free up this movement that as we age just gets more stuck. And then if you have something like Parkinson's or some nervous system issue, it's even more so. So we're just trying to battle this right at the heart, right at the root of the issue, which is the mechanisms by which we move. Now, stay down through your left leg, right quad open, meaning step right foot out, shift, left quad open, left foot empty, step it in. Keep them closed, shift and go into your left leg, side step. Shift, side step, in, shift, step out, shift, step in, shift, step out, shift. Now, in, out, shift, in. Same point I was making before, when you're doing this correctly, you have an underlying sort of like you're plugged in to the ground and you're never not plugged in. So we're not unplugging and then replugging and then unplugging and replugging. We're changing. Now I'm plugged in through this. Now I'm plugged in through this. But I'm always plugged. I'm always connected. I'm always grounded. And I'm moving. And this chun one, this softening and relaxing, allows me this light, nimble body. So now let's just do, from our Friday class, the bear washes paws. So just shift weight to the right leg and turn, shift and turn, sweep. So I'm going into the right leg, turning and sweeping. Do that a couple times. I'll just come up close so you can see the turn and turn, hands, the bear washing paws, kind of like big bear paws washing through the water. Washing through the water. So this movement, most of what we do on Friday is stationary Tai Chi. We're standing in place, but we're using the mechanisms of weight change and turn, and we're learning some hand choreography. So it's very cognitively challenging. Now we put them together. So this is your first advanced Tai Chi movement. So shift your weight into your left leg, turn and sweep both hands over to the left side of your body. So they stay over here, the weight stays in the left leg as you step your right foot out, empty. Now shift into your right leg, turn, sweep the hands across. Your left leg should be empty now. And your waist is kind of turned a little bit to your right. Now keep all of that as you step left foot in. Left foot is still empty so that we change the weight down through the left, turn from the middle, sweep. Hands stay over here, waist turns slightly this way, step while still empty. Then shift, turn, brush, sweep, across. Left foot empty, bring it in. The weight goes down through the left, turn, brush, sweep, turn. Right foot should be empty so it can just step. And then we shift, turn, brush, sweep, step in, shift, turn, brush, sweep, step out, shift, turn, brush, sweep, in, brush, sweep, out. Now, in, out, and we go back. Now, if you know from coming to Friday's class, some of the other movements in this bear sequence, the bear swirls the stream, where this hand goes around a circle and comes in closer. Or the bear swats at the fish, the hands coming up and then back down, and then up and back down. But just notice, it's the same little practice down low. We're just shifting, turning, stepping, shifting, turning, stepping, shifting, turning, stepping, shifting, turning, and back to middle. Shogun, settle to the middle. It's the same point I made earlier. And again, notice where my hands are. They're at the belly button height. So there's a reason for that. It's just according to how they view the body. And Western science is actually starting to find a lot of this truth. This is our second brain, the gut instinct. The gut creates, I believe it's a huge portion of our serotonin. When we're sick in the gut, everything's off. And so this attention to this being highly important has been known for truly centuries, I guess you would say, and more than centuries in the Orient, and hands crossed. Now, the rotational movements come to the middle of your chairs. Middle of your chairs. Change your weight to your left leg, right foot empty, turn your right foot out, shift into your right foot and bring your left foot alongside it. So now you quarter turn to your right, then empty your right foot again, turn it, but remember it's empty, and then shift and turn. So once again, finding how rotating around in space is all predicated on the down. So the weight going down through the left frees the right foot to step and turn out. And then it's down through the right that keeps everything organized as we reorient to the next side. Do it again, down through as you turn the right foot out. Down through, and we face forward. Let's do that again. Down through the left, turn the right foot out. Change, down through, reorient yourself. Down and through, turn right foot out. Down and through, turn. Down through, turn out. Down through, turn. Again. After you've gotten around to face forward again, let's go out to the other side. Empty the left foot, turn it out. Shift into the left leg, bring the right foot to match. Weight into the right leg, left foot empty, turn it out. Shift, turn. Go as slow as you need to not get dizzy, and just work on reorienting yourself in your room, in space, without heaving the body around, without swinging it around. It should just feel like you're just turning on a pivot. You're in your center. That's what finding our center allows for, is from the center, you can turn in all directions with very little force required. It's just technique. It's just this technique of empty a foot, turn out, rotate, nice and easy. Everything is easier and easier. Once you're facing forward again, now right leg turns out. Instead of doing this, let's turn the foot in, turn the pelvis slightly, and angle yourself just a bit to this left corner, and then shift into your right leg and bring your left foot to match. And we'll do that again. So right foot empty, and you turn it in, and the pelvis turns a little, the shoulders turn a little, there's a rotation, and then you just shift and reorient. Turning in this pinched position. Remember, we did internal rotation when we were seated, right? This position, more than just being a great, massage to the organs in the area and the lymph nodes and all of that, it's actually a functioning movement in martial arts. If I'm here and then there's something over there, I'm turning so I can relate to what's over here. And it's also functional for us to be able to move, to back up from something that's coming at us. And we do it again, in and back. So this leg is full, the whole body is empty, right? And we're just turning, shifting, stepping, empty. And it's the down that liberates me to be able to move freely. The down through this leg that allows this freedom of movement. And you notice my knees bend. That's another important one that the soft quality that's required, because I can't do this if I have locked legs. I start jamming my own joints. I have to be soft. I have to allow this sort of sink, this little bit of a bend to the knees. Shift. So now we're going the other way. So now it's your left leg, internal, shift. Left leg, internal, shift. Right leg is full, left leg empty, internal, shift. Left leg empty, the whole body and the foot turns, shift. One more time around. Just loose. Tai Chi is difficult in the sense that we have to undo our habits. So it's very demanding in a particular way. But the good news is it leads to a state of ease. So it's difficult technically, but eventually it leads to ease, more and more ease. Now, right leg, empty, turn it out. We shift, and here's where we add on that little pigeon toe. And now we've turned 180 degrees in 2-foot movements. So then it's right leg turn out, shift, the weight going down to the earth. Left foot is empty. It's empty, empty, empty. It turns, the body turns, and then we shift. Let's go around again. Right foot turn out, shift down to the earth. Left foot turn in, down to the earth. Right foot turn out, down to the earth. Left foot turn in, down to the earth, and then switch directions. Right foot turn out, down to the earth. I'm sorry, left foot turn out. Sorry about that. And then right foot turn in, pigeon toe. Knees are a little bent. I'm down through. Change the weight to the right leg. Left foot empty, turns out, down to the earth. Right foot empty, turns in, down to the earth. Left foot out. If you practice these movements right where you are in space, you will find the ability to move about life, go up and down stairs, up and down hill, up curves, down curves. All of that becomes more available because you understand this full empty, the turning of the loose and free body. All right, the more you learn that, the better and better your movement quality is. Hands together, rub palms, and the quad again, up and down. So when we're massaging the quad area, they say this is an area that gets a lot of hernias in people, and it's from the chi perspective, they say it gets very jammed and clogged and pressurized, and so we want to flow, feel a quality of flow, and notice that my hands are out wider. They V in and they come back out wider and V in. And so that's the shape of that quad. Then the hip flexors, the top of your thigh, right up in that little bundle, out and around and in. So a sort of circumferential direction of across the fibers of the tendons there. And then we come around to the sacrum and tailbone, and we're going loosening, coming up and sort of out and then down and through that little, like another V channel down and out. And then lumbar, just hands on those muscles, trying to spread that space. And then here we go as if we're sitting in a squat, the butt back, hands sweep down outside the legs, around to the inside, up the inseam, all the way to the navel. Let's do that again. Qua, V shape. Hip flexors, circumferential, sacrum, V shape, lumbar, up on that lower back, and then sitting the butt back, sweeping down the outer back side of the legs, and then up the inner front side to the navel. Quad, groin, hip flexors, sacrum, lumbar, and then finally, just the chi reset, up the outer, down the inner. They say the 12 primary channels run through the arm, so this kind of resets the flow that we want. Yang, yin, switch sides, yang, yin, yang, yin, yang. And settle and seal, sort of formal finishing. Here's the belly, 1, 2. All righty, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If there are any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask.